Now to the topic that, everyone in this country is talking about, including the world. That security breach, national security breach in the Trump administration and the fallout that has followed. A reporter mistakenly included in a group chat about targeting the Houthi rebels in Yemen. A discussion conducted on a publicly available messaging app.
All right, so the buzz about this is that reporter, Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, says the text among the top officials included details about the war plan itself.
Yeah, those officials included Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. So joining us now from Washington, D.C. with more is ABC's Martha Raddatz. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. You've covered national security for decades. How unprecedented is it to see these war plans shared outside of a secure channel?
Boy, first of all, I don't know of a reporter who's ever accidentally been given access to things like that and plans like that ever. And the Signal, the app that they were on, that is a very common app, and I do believe people use it at the Pentagon, but certainly not for war plans. Look, the White House is saying there were no war plans texts. Pete Hegseth said there were no war plans texts, but Jeffrey Goldberg said targets were discussed, when they were going to be targeted, how they were going to be targeted, who was the target. So when you think about things like that, those kind of specifics, if those Signal messages had been hacked, they might have hit the wrong target. They might have put civilians in those places that the U.S. was targeting. Things could have gone very terribly wrong here. Very big potential for disaster here. No matter the denials, this was a huge mistake and a big embarrassment, guys.
Hey, Martha, it's Sam, and I know you're having some problem with the earpiece hearing us in and out, but if I give you time to put it back in so you could hear us.
We're so I deftly put it in and took it out. Come on, guys.
And I know you'll have to do it again. I apologize for that.
Okay.
But we're so lucky to have you because of your depth of experience. You've been in wartime. You've done the coverage. I will always say every war I remember, Martha Raddatz has been in it. So, Martha, setting up a secure line of communications during wartime has always been primary. Even if younger people say, well, these apps are encrypted in and out. This is not something that we rely on another app that could have been gotten into by the Chinese, that could have gotten into by the Russia. These things are not government secure. So tell me why it's so important that we have this conversation and we don't just pass it off as a, oh, I'm sorry, we made a mistake.
Sam, you really nailed it there, in wartime especially, and a lot of the people on this chain, J.D. Vance, Hegseth, Waltz, Tulsi Gabbard, they're all veterans. Most of them have been in war zones. They tout that experience all the time. It is one of the reasons they're so good at their jobs. They know that if you are in a war zone or you're doing any sort of operation, you do not discuss on any line that is not secure what is going to happen. I have been in those areas. If we go out on a raid, if we do something like that, I am, taking a blood oath. I'm never going to say what exactly is coming next. It is just the principal rule for talking about any sort of war planning. Even saying, Sam and Pedro and Shirley, even saying it's going to start in 2 hours, that's revealing some sort of war plan over a non-secure network. And it's pretty easy to get to secure networks if you are Marco Rubio, if you are Mike Waltz, if you are Pete Hegseth. They can accommodate that sort of thing.
You're the best.
And yes, she is. And the wild part about it, Martha, is that each one of those people you just named have military experience.
Exactly.
So it's wild. But the question now comes, what's next? As this story is unfolding, is this going to keep people from using these encrypted apps? Have members of Congress indicated what they're going to do as a result of this mistake, an admitted mistake?
Well, I think already on the Hill, it's a flame. Even Republicans are saying we've got to investigate this. President Trump himself sort of said, well, it was a glitch. It was a mistake. Mike Waltz is a good guy, and Mike Waltz is the one who accidentally put Jeffrey Goldberg on the chain. But I think you're going to see this story for a long time. I think people are going to be very careful about the Signal app. Not only is it an insecure commercial network, you're supposed to keep presidential records. Conversations like that are official conversations. And the Signal app, according to Jeffrey Goldberg, Mike Waltz had it on disappearing messages after a week or so those messages go away and disappear.
Oh.
Although we'll say again, I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Goldberg has a copy of those texts.
Well,
Yeah.
right. Some screen grabs for certain.